It's not a crime to be an immigrant. And yet, we find lots of immigrants who are incarcerated without ever having committed an actual crime. They're being committed to incarceration. For example, someone comes to the country to apply for asylum. Right now, there's a very high probability that that person will cross the border and be put into a detention center for asking for asylum. That's a human right. The right to come to another country and say, in my home country, I will be persecuted. Please give me asylum. That's a human right. Every country, everywhere, is supposed to recognize that right. Why does that person have to be detained in a prison-like situation? It takes a pretty aggressive legal challenge to get those people out of detention and back together with their families. And that's what organizations like TLC are doing. Across the country, there are nonprofit organizations who have said, no, that's not okay. That's not an American value to put people into jail for doing nothing other than asking for the opportunity to tell their story. And so that's a basic human right. And everybody should have access to the process to take that right and make it real. And so what we see is, one, a violation of human rights, but also a violation of due process of law. And to me, that's just a shameful thing that our government is doing, and it requires us, the citizens, to stand up and say no. This idea of due process is sort of complicated, but it's not all that complicated. The Supreme Court has decided long ago that due process includes, if you can't afford a lawyer, the government has to provide you a lawyer. Not so with immigrants. You're entitled to have a lawyer if you can afford it. The government will not pay for a lawyer. That's a really troublesome thing when you look at the statistics showing that an immigrant without a lawyer is 3 times more likely to get deported. That's awful. If that's how our court system provides equal access to justice, we have a serious problem.